I click links to our channel here over at SubScribestar. I got a mailbox as well. So this is not going to be another Concord situation, which is hundreds of millions of dollars loss, because Concord, even if you didn't know anything about anything, you look at it and go, oh, this, I can tell it's woke. Even if you didn't know much about the culture war, you see obese, POCs, all POCs in the game, I think. Representation and inclusion matters, except when it's for us. And go, I just didn't see myself represented in this game. I couldn't feel. It's like, do you need to see yourself? Well, apparently the pox, walks, trans furry other kittens need to see themselves in these games, or they say they do, but it's weird because they just don't show up to buy the games or the movies or the comics or anything that they is like literally made for them. They just, for some reason, they're just busy that year. So Ubisoft officially delays Assassin's Creed Shadow to February 2025. So four months, I think, delayed. And Ubisoft says that they released a statement, and they're getting a little bit nervous. Says that they're not trying to push an agenda while they're pushing a woke agenda. So this it looks fine, except for the race swap samurai. And he was there, he existed. That's the problem. It's like, did he really? Maybe he did, but the thing is, even if he legitimately did, that, I guess that would be a cool story, but there's just not enough evidence for it. It looks like pandering, it looks like wokeism, and you don't get the benefit of the doubt. See, that's the situation. Is this stuff is not in a vacuum. Years ago, maybe now you have to go back decades before you get the benefit of the doubt, and people just wouldn't take this stuff seriously. But when you see this wokeism in everything, everywhere, you don't get any benefit of the doubt. It's like, oh, Black Samurai, this game's not gonna be the massive success that people wanted it, because they expect a Japanese samurai. That should be obvious. If it's with comics and movies and video games, you see this statistical improbability, but it comes up like almost every single time. Every comic book. Oh, it's a blonde hair, blue eyed, or red hair, green eyed motorcycle gang running the inner city. It's like, doesn't matter what company is writing the comic books or what series it is. It's just that insane. Anyway, so Black Samurai game delayed for reasons. And from what I'm gathering, Ubisoft is aware of how unpopular a race-swapped character has been, and they decided to delay it a few months, which translates to they're going to wait for the YouTube Phantom Menace types of channels to stop covering it. I mean, the strongest thing they could do is like contact the top 5 YouTube those kind of channels, and like, I don't know, offer them a bribe or something to give it neutral publicity or even slightly positive. So for some reason, and it's like, it wouldn't take that much money. Like, I don't know what somebody's price is. I'm not saying they take it, but I mean, if you're a video game company and you go, listen, if we distributed like a couple $1 million in bribes to the top half dozen YouTube channels to give this a positive spin, that would totally be worth it for the game company. I don't know the legality on all that. Anyway, so for some reason, their Star Wars games has not sold well because they made the girl look like an ugly man. Oh, I should probably show a picture of her. So it looks like she has a mullet, and she has a man's chin and a titless wonder. So shocking that it didn't sell well. Because they view all this kind of stuff as inclusive to the marginalized, disenfranchised, and oppressed colors who systemically have been othered and disenfranchised systematically in diverse monkeypox and AIDS. They could have gone for a 1978 Farrah Fawcett type of look here. All they have to do is make her good looking. I'd love to be in the room with these people and go, so why is she ugly? The model she allegedly is based on looks nothing like this. The model looks good. All you have to do is make her look like the model. I mean, why'd you hire a model in the first place if you're going to make this chick as ugly as possible? So, hey, video game lizard people, stop making women look like men. Women are not men. The whole trans thing, the push, that's a fad, and it's a very small percentage of the audience that is on board with this kind of stuff. That's the theory on why the women now are so ugly, because men are dressing up like women and not very convincingly. So women being, you can never tell. I think most times you can tell. So women being feminine makes them angry or something. Plus, the blue-haired land whale feminists get triggered by anyone who's more attractive than them, which is pretty much everyone. So games are made for freaks and circus acts who don't buy the games or watch the movies, which is the way it always works with these people. They just get online and they bitch and moan about the patriarchy and how much they hate the people of the light. So here's the thing for the Star Wars game. If the character looked like an attractive woman, the game would have sold. It's just that easy. She looks like a lump of wood floating in a swamp. And same for the Black Samurai. If they made him Japanese, the game would sell much better. They know this. Everyone knows this. Nobody wants to play a Japanese game set 500 years ago with a Black Samurai because that's absurd. The guy is supposed to sneak around Japan, and he's the only black guy in the country. That's stupid. Even if you're in this room with a bunch of other woke people, there's got to be the one voice of reason that goes, yeah, this is, you know what, guys, this is probably a bridge too far. I know you want to like pander to the audience that doesn't exist with the blackity black stuff, but it's just the verisimilitude just won't cover it. You can't have a guy sneaking around Japan. He's the only black guy in the country. They do this kind of diversity stuff with that. They did some Russian game or some Eastern European game, like set in James Bond's day or something. And I think they race swapped like some of the characters, so they're like secret spies in Eastern Europe, and they're black. It's like, this is insane. People are really tired of diversity, feminism, and inclusion. All the Larry Fink, whatever stuff, all the gay themes that are not popular with the normal people who are the customers, and they're not even popular with the gay crowd themselves. They say they want these things, but they don't actually pony up the money to buy these things. So they're going to delay the game a few months so the heat dies down. The game is probably going to do fine. It's not going to be the mega hit that it could have been because most people are just not cultural Marxists who want this Frankfurt School cancer in fucking everything. But ultimately, a lot of these kids playing video games are NPCs. They're Coomer consumers who want the latest thing, when the better option would be to starve these companies into submission. This company has already missed its financial expectations because they're so committed to this woke agenda that they made an ugly Star Wars game and a Black Samurai that they're willing to lose money. There's what's the other, Sucker Soft or something? It's the Sony subsidiary, I think, is making some game with some woke voice actor with the shaved side of her head. And we'll see how that comes out. So what companies are doing should strike you as insane. What do we want in general? Beautiful blondes with tits and ass. Or for period games to perhaps be period correct, ugly characters and blackwashing is a few years too late. The wave of woke has already started cresting, at least with the audience, but the game companies in Hollywood, they're behind the curve by a few years, and they're going to lose money until they awaken to the fact that woke is very much on the way out. Now, the weird thing is Hollywood and the game companies seem to want to go down with the ship because this is a religion. I know that sounds tinfoil hat. Individuals have strong religious beliefs. It doesn't matter if it makes sense. And when those individuals all get together to run companies, they have those same religious beliefs. So it's not a religion. I don't know what you want to call it, an ideology, Bolshevism, globalism, Marxism, whatever. It's the same 120-year-old garbage, but it is as strong as a religion because, what happened to the West? Well, they got rid of their religion, and it's like nature abhors a vacuum, and so does the human psyche. So in steps one Moses Mordecai Levy with his 100-year-old belief system. It's like, it hasn't worked for the past 130 years. Yeah, that wasn't real Bolshevism. Oh, you're going to say this for the next 500 years, aren't you? Yep. They're the ones running the company, and they really don't care what happens to the companies. It's like Jim Jones. It's like, what does the future hold? Or what was that guy who, in the 90s, they go off on a comet or something? Another Jim Jones type of thing. I think they're drinking Kool-Aid. They don't care. They don't care. It's a belief system. And in terms of these video games and Hollywood types, the people at the top are independently wealthy beyond the need to even worry about this kind of stuff. They're willing to sacrifice the people in the middle and the bottom for their religion of Bolshevism because they're insulated. by wealth. Anyway, you don't have to support these people at all. Ubisoft or that the Sucker Games or any of these companies or Hollywood in general. It's that fear of missing out that keeps people coming back to Hollywood and video games. But you can get over that like anything else, and I promise you, if you kind of look at this stuff and pay close attention of it, you won't have that fear of missing out. You realize, oh, you're not missing out on anything. You're missing out on just the ugliest, stupidest woke cancer. It's like let it die. It's your money is the oxygen that runs that engine. Just let it starve. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. See you guys on the next episode.